Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a woman standing at the edge of a great unknown. Behind her is everything she has ever known: expectations, opinions, the past. Before her, a path untraveled, uncertain, yet full of potential. This woman is you. A chosen woman does not walk the path of the ordinary. She does not conform to the past. She does not fit into the mold that society has created for her. Why? Because she is here to break cycles, to expand beyond limitations, to create a new reality. And that journey, my friends, is one that cannot be taken in the company of the masses. You see, the human brain is wired for familiarity. It clings to what is known. But transformation happens when we step beyond the known, when we let go of the past version of ourselves, when we stop looking for validation outside and start seeking alignment within. This is why the chosen woman walks alone, because she is no longer bound by the environment, by circumstances, by the voices that say this is how it has always been. She is led by something greater, an inner intelligence, a higher consciousness, a divine calling. The path of the chosen woman is not for the faint of heart. It is not paved with the comfort of approval or the ease of conformity. It is a road that demands courage, resilience, and an unwavering trust in the unseen. A chosen woman is not merely someone who desires more from life. She is someone who has been called to break boundaries, to defy expectations, to rise beyond the limitations imposed upon her by society, culture, and even her own past conditioning. And because of this, her journey is often a solitary one. When a woman is chosen, it means she is set apart. She is not meant to follow the same patterns as everyone else. She is not meant to be confined by the norms that dictate how she should speak, behave, or dream. She is here to redefine what is possible, to break cycles of limitation that have been passed down for generations. But in doing so, she must also be willing to step into the unknown, where few dare to go. This is the reason why a chosen woman walks alone, not because she is unloved, not because she is unworthy of companionship, but because the elevation of her consciousness requires her to detach from the familiar. Many people around her will not understand her journey. They will question her choices, doubt her vision, and even attempt to pull her back into the reality they are comfortable with, calling for the college kids back into the conversation, they will remind her of the risks, of the fears, of the dangers of stepping outside of what is predictable. They do this not out of malice, but out of their own unconscious programming, because to them, safety is found in sameness. But the chosen woman does not seek safety. She seeks truth. To walk this path means to embrace solitude, not as a punishment, but as a portal to transformation. It is in this solitude that she begins to hear the voice of her own intuition more clearly. Without the distractions of external validation, she learns to trust her inner knowing. She no longer looks outside for permission to be who she is meant to be. She no longer waits for affirmation before taking action. She becomes her own guide, her own source of strength. Walking alone also means shedding layers of the past. The chosen woman must release the version of herself that was shaped by old fears and limitations. She must let go of relationships that no longer align with her evolution. This is perhaps one of the hardest parts of the journey, watching as the people she once felt closest to drift away. But she understands that this is necessary. Not everyone can come with her. Not everyone is meant to understand her transformation. And yet, despite the solitude, she is never truly alone. As she continues to walk this path, she begins to feel a deeper connection to something greater than herself. Call it divine intelligence, call it universal energy, call it destiny. Whatever it is, it begins to move through her in ways she never experienced before. Synchronicities appear, new opportunities unfold. Her energy shifts and she attracts new people, new experiences, and new possibilities that align with who she is becoming At times she may feel the weight of this journey. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the silence feels deafening, moments when she longs for the comfort of the past. But in those moments, she reminds herself she was not chosen for an easy life. She was chosen for a purpose, and purpose is not found in following the crowd. It is found in forging a new path, in daring to believe in something greater, in becoming a version of herself that the world has never seen before. So she keeps walking. She walks with faith. She walks with conviction. She walks not because she has all the answers, but because she knows that every step forward brings her closer to the woman she was always meant to be. And when she looks back one day, she will see that the loneliness was never loneliness at all. It was preparation. It was the space she needed to transform, to elevate, to rise. The chosen woman always walks alone, not because she is lost, but because she is leading the way. Breaking free from the known is one of the greatest challenges a chosen woman will ever face. The known is comfortable, familiar, and predictable. It is the place where she has spent most of her life, shaped by the expectations of society, family, culture, and even her own past experiences. It is a space where her identity has been formed based on what others believe is possible for her, what is acceptable, and what is considered safe. But a chosen woman is not here to live within the confines of what has always been. She is here to expand beyond it, to step into something greater, to redefine herself outside of the limitations that have been placed upon her. And to do that, she must be willing to break free from the known. The known is a powerful force because it provides a sense of security. It is the routine, the relationships, the roles she has played, and the version of herself that others recognize. It is the world that has been carefully constructed around her, reinforced by patterns and habits that keep her anchored in who she has always been. But the moment she begins to question, the moment she starts to desire more, the moment she envisions a new reality for herself, she starts to feel the resistance, not just from the world around her, but from within. Her own mind will try to pull her back. It will remind her of all the reasons why she should stay where she is. It will tell her that stepping into the unknown is too risky, that she is not ready, that she might fail. This is the internal battle that every chosen woman must face. It is not just about changing her circumstances. It is about rewiring her entire way of being. It is about shifting from survival mode, where she is merely reacting to life, to creation mode, where she becomes the architect of her own destiny. And this requires her to detach from the past, to stop defining herself by what has been, and instead begin to define herself by what could be. But breaking free from the known also means letting go of the identities that no longer serve her. For years, she may have played the role of the people pleaser, the caregiver, the one who puts others before herself, the one who follows the path that was laid out for her. And now she is being called to step into a version of herself that is unapologetic in her desires, fearless in her decisions, and unwilling to shrink to make others comfortable. This shift is not easy. It will challenge her deeply. It will bring up emotions, doubts, and moments of isolation. But it is necessary because staying in the known means staying in a reality that was never meant to hold her full potential. As she begins to break free, she will notice that some people in her life do not understand her anymore. They may resist her growth. They may try to remind her of who she used to be, questioning why she is changing, why she is making different choices, why she no longer fits into the spaces she once occupied. This is the moment when she must decide, will she shrink back into the comfort of familiarity, or will she trust herself enough to keep moving forward? Breaking free from the known also requires her to embrace uncertainty. The unknown is unpredictable, and the mind fears what it cannot control. But true transformation only happens when she is willing to step into a space where the future is not yet written. It is in this space that she learns to trust her intuition, to align with the energy of what she wants to create, and to believe in a version of herself that has not yet fully materialized. This process is not about taking one giant leap. It is about choosing every single day to act as the person she is becoming. It is about making decisions that align with her future rather than her past. It is about no longer allowing fear to dictate her choices. And with each step forward, she will begin to see that the life she once thought was impossible is actually within reach. There will be moments of doubt, moments when she is tempted to go back to what is familiar, moments when she questions whether she is truly capable of creating something new. But she must remember, she was not given this vision by accident. She was not called to this path without reason. The discomfort she feels is simply the old version of herself resisting the transformation that is already in motion. And so she keeps going. She moves forward despite the uncertainty, despite the fear, despite the pull of the past, because she knows that the known will never give her the life she desires. The known will only ever keep her where she has already been. And she is not here to repeat history. She is here to create something new. Energy is the foundation of all creation. A chosen woman understands that she is not merely a product of her environment, but a force that shapes her reality through the energy she embodies. The ordinary world operates in a state of reaction. People respond to circumstances, emotions fluctuate based on external events, and most individuals believe that life happens to them. But the chosen woman steps into a higher truth. Life is not happening to her, it is responding to her. She does not live at the mercy of her surroundings. She creates from within. The moment she begins to master her energy, she takes control of her destiny. She no longer allows the past to dictate her present. She no longer gives power to the external world to determine how she feels, how she thinks, or what she believes is possible. Instead, she shifts into a state of deliberate creation. She recognizes that every thought she entertains, every emotion she sustains, and every frequency she emits is shaping the reality she will experience. This shift in consciousness is what separates her from those who remain trapped in the illusion of limitation. But mastering energy is not easy. It requires her to become deeply aware of her habitual patterns, the way she reacts to stress, the way she internalizes fears, the way she has been conditioned to expect certain outcomes based on past experiences. For most of her life, she may have operated in survival mode, unconsciously reacting to the world around her. She may have been taught that circumstances define her, that she must conform to what is expected, that her power lies outside of her. But now she is called to break free from this illusion and step into a higher awareness. The realization that she is an energetic being first and foremost, and that energy is the true currency of creation. To shift from reaction to creation, she must learn to regulate her internal state. This means no longer allowing external conditions to dictate her mood, her choices, or her vision. If she wakes up in the morning and immediately checks her phone, looking for something outside of her to set the tone for her day, she is already in reaction mode. If she allows an unkind word, a temporary setback, or an old fear to lower her frequency, she is giving her power. But when she begins to consciously elevate her energy through intention, through visualization, through gratitude, through presence, she starts to break the old patterns that kept her bound to the past. Her environment will test her. There will be moments when the world around her does not reflect the vision she holds within. She may find herself in situations where the energy of others is heavy, filled with doubt, fear, and negativity. But she will not allow herself to be pulled into that vibration. Instead, she will become the force that shifts the energy in the room. She will be the one who remains calm in chaos, the one who radiates confidence even when uncertainty looms, the one who chooses to trust rather than fear. This is what makes her different. She does not wait for circumstances to change before she feels joy, peace, or abundance. She generates those emotions first. A chosen woman knows that her energy is her responsibility. She does not blame the world for her state of being. She does not wait for permission to feel empowered. She does not allow temporary obstacles to define her future. She understands that every time she shifts her internal state, she is shifting the trajectory of her life. She is aligning with higher possibilities, with new opportunities, with outcomes that would have never been available to her had she remained stuck in reaction mode. As she continues to master this energy, she begins to experience the power of true alignment. She no longer forces things into place. She magnetizes them. She no longer chases opportunities. Opportunities come to her. She no longer clings to relationships that drain her. She attracts connections that elevate her. She understands that the universe does not respond to what she wants. It responds to who she is being. And so she becomes intentional. She becomes aware of the energy she carries in every moment. She no longer allows fear to dictate her decisions. She no longer lets the past define her potential. She no longer seeks validation outside of herself. She rises above the noise, above the distractions, above the illusions of limitation. She becomes a master of her own vibration. And in doing so, she becomes the creator of a life beyond anything she once thought possible. Letting go is one of the hardest lessons a chosen woman must learn. The human mind craves attachment to identities, relationships, routines, and even pain. It seeks familiarity because familiarity feels safe. But the path of growth requires detachment. It demands that she release everything that no longer serves her, even when it is painful, even when it is uncomfortable, even when she does not yet see what will replace it. The chosen woman understands that she cannot step into her highest self while still clinging to the past. She cannot expand while holding on to what was. She cannot evolve while remaining attached to old versions of herself, old ways of thinking, and old relationships that no longer align with who she is becoming. And so, she must develop the courage to let go. Detachment is not about isolation. It is about trust. It is the deep understanding that everything in life is temporary and that holding on to something out of fear is the quickest way to stagnation. It is realizing that not everyone is meant to walk with her forever. Some people enter her life to teach her, to challenge her, to mirror her wounds back to her, and when their role is complete, she must release them with grace. If she tries to hold on too tightly, whether out of fear of being alone, or out of attachment to history, she only delays her own expansion. This is one of the most painful aspects of the journey. As she rises, she will notice that certain relationships start to shift. Some friends who once felt like family will suddenly feel distant. Some people who once celebrated her will begin to resent her. She will sense the unspoken discomfort when she speaks of her growth, her dreams, and her new mindset. It will hurt, but she will understand that this is simply the effect of her energy changing. When she is no longer a match for the frequency of certain connections, they naturally begin to fade. It is not personal, it is alignment. But it is not just people she must let go of. It is also her own limiting beliefs. She must detach from the narratives that have kept her small. The belief that she is not enough. The belief that she must play small to be accepted. The belief that success is only for others, not for her. These thoughts may have been with her for years, whispered into her subconscious by society, by past experiences, by those who projected their own fears onto her. But now she must make a choice. Will she continue to carry these weights, or will she release them and step into her true power? Letting go also means surrendering the need for control. The human mind wants certainty. It wants guarantees. It wants to know exactly how things will unfold before taking the first step. But the chosen woman understands that true creation happens in the unknown. She does not need to have all the answers. She does not need to see the full path ahead. She only needs to trust that by letting go of what no longer serves her, she is making space for something greater. Detachment is not an act of giving up, it is an act of faith. It is choosing to believe that what is meant for her will always find her, that she does not need to force anything, that the universe is always working in her favor even when she cannot yet see the results. She learns to let go of expectations, to release the need for validation, to stop trying to control outcomes. Instead, she focuses on her energy, her mindset, her alignment. She becomes the type of person who attracts what she desires effortlessly, rather than the type who chases and clings out of fear. There will be moments when the process feels like loss, when the space left by what she has let go of feels empty. But she must remember, every ending is also a beginning. Every release creates room for something new. Every time she detaches from what no longer serves her, she steps closer to the life she is meant to live. And so she chooses to trust. She lets go, knowing that she is not losing, she is making space. She walks forward, not because she has all the answers, but because she refuses to remain stuck in what no longer aligns with her highest self. She releases the past with gratitude, embraces the present with confidence, and welcomes the future with open arms. This is the power of detachment, and this is why a chosen woman always walks forward, even when she must walk alone. Transformation is never a comfortable process. It requires a chosen woman to strip away everything that is not in alignment with her highest self. It is a journey of becoming, of unlearning, of healing, of stepping into the unknown without guarantees. And because of this, the path is often lonely, not because she is unworthy of companionship, but because true transformation demands solitude. It demands isolation, not as a punishment, but as a process of purification. The chosen woman understands that she cannot evolve while remaining surrounded by energies that keep her stagnant. Growth is not just about learning new things. It is about shedding old versions of herself, and sometimes that shedding process means walking away from people, places, and habits that no longer support her expansion. It is not about superiority or judgment. It is simply about resonance. As she elevates, her frequency changes, and when that happens, she naturally becomes misaligned with anything that does not match her new energy. This is one of the most difficult aspects of transformation. The moment she decides to rise, she begins to notice the distance between herself and those who once felt like home. The conversations that once excited her now feel shallow. The habits that once felt comforting now feel limiting. The environments that once felt safe now feel restrictive. And this realization is painful. There will be moments when she wishes she could unsee, unfeel, undo the awakening she is experiencing, but she cannot. Once she has seen the truth, once she has felt the pull of something greater, she can never go back to who she used to be. Transformation also requires her to face herself. When she was living in distraction, surrounded by noise, she could avoid her inner work. But solitude forces her to meet herself fully. In the silence, she comes face to face with her fears, her doubts, her unhealed wounds. She sees the ways she has been playing small, the ways she has been betraying herself for the comfort of belonging, the ways she has been carrying pain that was never hers to hold. And this is where the true transformation begins, not in external success, not in validation from others, but in the deep inner work of healing and realignment. The world often teaches that transformation is about adding knowledge, adding skills, adding achievements. But the chosen woman realizes that transformation is actually about removing the illusions, removing the conditioning, removing the attachments that keep her from fully stepping into her power. It is about peeling back the layers of who she was told to be so she can finally become who she truly is. This process is not linear. Some days she will feel empowered, clear, unstoppable. Other days she will feel lost, uncertain, tempted to return to old patterns. The mind will try to convince her that the discomfort means she is on the wrong path. But she will remember, discomfort is not a sign to turn back. It is a sign that she is evolving. It is proof that she is stretching beyond her past limitations. If she were still comfortable, it would mean she was not growing. She will also notice that as she transforms, she becomes more selective about where she places her energy. She no longer seeks validation from others. She no longer entertains conversations that drain her. She no longer forces relationships that do not nourish her. She becomes protective. The world may not always understand her transformation. Some people will question her choices. Some will resist her growth. Some will try to remind her of who she used to be. But she will not shrink herself to fit into a version of reality she has outgrown. She will not dim her light to make others comfortable. She will not trade her evolution for acceptance. And so she continues forward. She embraces the solitude, not as loneliness, but as preparation. She trusts the process, even when the path is unclear. She honors her transformation, even when it feels heavy, because she knows that every step she takes, every old pattern she releases, every fear she overcomes is leading her toward the life she was always meant to live. This is the price of evolution. This is why a chosen woman walks alone. But she does not walk alone in sorrow. She walks alone in power. She walks with purpose, with clarity, with the unwavering knowing that she is stepping into a version of herself that is limitless, fearless, and completely free. A chosen woman does not just walk alone. She walks with vision. She understands that the path ahead of her is not just about personal growth, but about creating something greater than herself. She carries a vision so powerful, so expansive, that many cannot comprehend it. It is a vision that requires faith, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to something that does not yet exist in